Hi guys, welcome to a new video, and today I will be sharing how I draw bodies. So first of all, I would like to share with you a very important practice. Now, why is this important? Well, because it teaches you how to draw the overall form of the figure and the proportions and movement. Things like these important vocabulary words. Okay, write that down. So how do you do figure studies? Well, the very traditional way of doing it is looking at a naked person in real life and drawing that. But I don't know anybody who will get naked, so instead I look on Google, and all you need to do is look up figure reference. And today I've compiled a few references from Sketch Daily, and you can choose all the different options for what kind of pictures you would like. And now let us go through a drawing demo of 3 poses. Okay, so basically, you're just gonna copy the photo. Whenever you do an art practice, you wanna try to focus on at least one thing you wanna improve on. Also, you can do this practice as like a warm-up. Sometimes I do it as a warm-up. Alright, so I think the most important thing to convey when thinking about the movement is the line of action. Now, what is the line of action? Well, it's a line that shows the overall movement of the form. So let's see, if we were to draw a line, I would say the energy, alright? The energy emitting from this pose is kind of like this arch right here. It's something like this flow, alright? So yeah, collected the vibes and just feel it. Just want to feel the pose. Art is all about feeling. It's about the feelers. And for stylization, the more you exaggerate this movement, the more dynamic the pose will feel. Now there's a lot of different artists that are really good at exaggerating the line of movement. For me, I would say maybe I dabble in a little movement action. So I'm just capturing very, very roughly. You kind of want to be quick with it because the more figures you draw, the more muscle memory you gain. You want to build those muscles. And whenever you use a reference, you always want to look back and forth constantly. This is also an exercise for your eyeballs, okay? This pen is like really light, so I don't even know if you see the drawing. Here's it basically, you know, here's the basics. So there we go. I just captured the very, very basic shapes, and it helps me gain that understanding of these shapes and proportions. Because while you're drawing, you want to think, okay, so the head is this big, so how long is the arm gonna be compared to the head? Like maybe like 3 heads long. You always want to be comparing. Alright, let's move on to this lady. I think she's about to do some hitman activity, but that's unrelated. Oh, by the way, these people are not naked because I don't know if YouTube will allow that. So what's the line of action, guys? Draw it with me. Draw it with your finger. I'ma say boom. Yeah, if you thought so too, you're correct. And you deserve a pat on the back. So give yourself a pat on the back. Also, when it comes to posing, you want to think about what emotion, what feeling you're conveying. So you can see this pose is very stiff, kind of. Very like straight lines. And why? It's because she's girl bossing. So when you girl boss really hard, the arms are gonna be like just like so straight and just like power. But the power, the power of a stick. Because sticks are not flimsy, alright? None of the wiggling is happening. And the more you draw figures, the more you will recognize the same shapes going on. And that's how you incorporate it into your own art. I think I broke her leg. Alright, and notice, I think her arm is a little too long. But that's okay. When you see you make mistakes, don't dwell on it too long. And just try again with that in mind. Every time you will improve, you will become greatest. Oh, I didn't draw her gun. That's actually important for figure studies. Amazing. And let's do a final example. So what is the line of action? I would say kind of similar to the last one, but she's sitting down. But this one, it has less straight lines. So this is more of a dainty pose. Something I also like doing when it comes to adding more movement is notice how all the limbs, it has a curve to them. They're all curving, right? So if you exaggerate that more, that will give your characters a feeling of more dynamic movement. Sometimes I like drawing the limbs very stiff as a stylistic choice. So it's really up to you. Alright, so there we go. Just very quick. And then, you know, a very important thing about practices is that you gotta make sure you get a good night's sleep. So after you do this, take a nap immediately. No, I'm kidding. Just like go to sleep, guys. Trust me. So now that we got the basic figure practice studies out of the way, how do you use that information from drawing from real life and transfer it into art and make it into your own style? Well, simple. You just gotta draw.
Time to heal.
Alright, so actually, you gotta dig deep into your heart and your soul, okay? And you have to think about things like, what kind of shapes and lines do you want your art to have? For this example, this person draws bodies with a lot of round shapes. So you get this feeling that it's like squishy. And then for this example, this person uses a lot of geometric sharp shapes, giving a more simplified, geometry, calculus feel. And then I would say for my style, I like drawing long, lanky bodies. So now I'm going to show you a drawing demonstration of how I draw a pose. Okay, so what if we do... I don't know, I have to think, guys. Let me think. Okay, I'm liking this pose. You know, I said something about arching the limbs, but I think I'm a liar. Because I think I like drawing really more stiff limbs. See, they're very straight. When it comes to stylization, you're also stylizing the proportions. Like a lot of people, I like drawing them legs long. Also, I would say a tip when it comes to your art style is, you know, if you're struggling too much, you just gotta learn. You just gotta learn to let it go, man. Because sometimes we get too caught up on having a really distinct, specific art style. But sometimes it just doesn't happen. And then we don't realize that we already actually have an art style. Because no matter what you do or draw, your style, if you're drawing consistently, is going to be influenced by your inspirations and your environment, whether you like it or not. So everyone has an art style in some way, and you may not even realize that. You can work on experimenting and honing in on a specific art style you like. So I hope this video helps with that. Now I like using a lot of pointy shapes. So this nose is very pointy. This is a vampire, by the way. I probably didn't need to say that because I'm just addicted to vampires and everyone knows it. So this video is more about the basic figure and stylization, but I'll probably make a video on more specific anatomy stuff in the future. But honestly, I'm not that good at anatomy, guys. Let me be frank. We got a scandalous chest action, if you know what I mean. Alright, and you know what? The more you arc the torso, waist area, the more demure you're gonna get. Alright, so I love doing some arching action, if you know what I mean. So this character's quite skinny, because I draw a lot of twinks. But I can also do a quick drawing with a different body type. Now with this hand, here I like to exaggerate kind of like the square shape right here. And so, you know, it's actually unnatural. This angle of the hand is unnatural, but I am exaggerating because of my own stylistic choice. Yes. And then he's gonna be picking his nose like a disgusting man. I wanted the hand over the face, but I think I like how I drew the face too much, so now I don't want to cover it. But that's okay, we can move it. Oh, we can do a little this. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's so dainty. And when it comes to posing, I think if you want a more dainty pose, I feel like you're gonna use a lot of closed posture. You see, it's like the thing with man spreading. This is like an open posture, right? But like if you're dainty, we have a more closed posture and even closing in the hands as well. Extremely dainty. Oh my gosh. Crazy. That's the dichotomy of man. Guys, this is a how to draw bodies video, so that's why he's basically half naked, okay? This might be a little too much baby face. So, it's just in my blood to give characters a baby face because I also kind of have a baby face. And then we can also do some corrections. Like, I think this arm is too big. Now I think the legs are too big. Dude, imagine if this was traditional. That would be painful. Life is so much more painful in traditional, I gotta say. Okay, so that's my little drawing. So yeah, I would say I like stylizing anatomy by using a lot of long limbs. Because it's kind of spooky. I like spooky things. Anyways, I do want to draw someone more curvier, so let's try that. I'm gonna draw my character Lily. She's an ancient character. Or actually, I'm sorry Lily, you're gonna have to go back into the really dusty closet. I wanna draw red rum. I gotta think of a pose. Well, you know what? Let's just draw and see what happens. I'll give her short hair. If I'm doing a more simpler drawing, I like to add a swirl to the ear. Because I love swirls. I like adding swirls to everything. The hair too. I like always adding a swirl to the hair. Now the neck itself isn't really an area that would get a lot of fat. The fat deposits. But there's certain areas where it does. Like the the upper arm. Her body type is like kind of curvy but a lot of muscle. So I'm gonna kind of try to give give that vibe. I actually don't know like what is this pose at all. Like I am confused. So I am just gonna draw this like a Joker thing and then she's more masked. So we're gonna avoid the dainty posing strategies a little bit. Guys, what is this? What is happening? What is this pose? You know what? When you think of a pose, you gotta think of what's happening. So like she's just standing there. Like that's boring. She's gotta be doing something. You know what? I think she should be like laying down, kind of like slouching in a couch and playing video games. I think that's the vibe. So how do you draw a switch? Well, you just draw a rectangle and then you round the corners. Boom. You're welcome, by the way. And then to draw the hands holding the switch, you just draw hands. You're welcome, by the way. That looks bad, by the way. Okay, again. I'm trying again. This is the greatest hands I've ever drawn. Okay, it's over. People are gonna say I drew these hands with AI. Sometimes I like drawing the hands first, disconnected from the body, and then you could kind of just like do the guesswork about where everything else goes. Some poses are really weird, and the foreshortening is weird. So I'm weirded out right now. Right now I'm weirded out. Yeah. We gotta add a pillow. Couch. Below couch. Actually, maybe she's on the bed. So I got the pointy shapes up here. These are inaccurate. I need to fix this part. I need to make it character accurate. And so the thigh is also gonna reserve more the chubbiness, the chubby fatness, yes. And then like this calf area as well, the buttocks and belly. So that's how I would draw this type of body type. What kind of bed do you think she would have? I don't know. I always draw this type of the bed bars. Maybe let's do it like this. Anyways, sorry, this is not a furniture drawing video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Those were just some drawing demonstrations and tips. And hopefully you gained something. That would be awesome. Yippee! So, yeah. Goodbye.
Time to heal.